There are moments in a nation's history that don't just mark time, they define it. And right now, Canada is standing at the edge of one such moment. In just a few days, Prime Minister Mark Carney will deliver his first full federal budget, a blueprint that could reshape how Canadians live, work, and dream. This isn't another policy rollout. This is where leadership meets destiny, where Canada stops reacting to a changing world and starts designing its own future. Because this budget isn't just about numbers or taxes. It's about trust, transformation, and a vision for a nation ready to rise again. And you're watching this unfold right here on the Macrosphere, where policy meets purpose, and where Canada's next chapter. Carney is not a typical politician. He's a strategist, a central banker who has steered global markets through crisis and come home to rebuild Canada's economic foundation. His leadership style blends the precision of finance with the purpose of nation building. To him, economics is not just about numbers. It's about people, values, and the future we choose to create. Carney's vision is grounded in a simple but powerful belief. Growth must be responsible, and prosperity must have integrity. His government seeks to rebuild public trust in leadership, showing that competence, empathy, and ambition can coexist. This first budget is not a collection of short-term fixes. It is a long-term roadmap to position Canada as a resilient, self-reliant, and confident nation in a fast-changing world. Across the country, Canadians are being priced out of their own cities. The dream of home ownership has slipped further from reach, and renting has become a struggle in itself. Carney's government understands that housing is the foundation of every stable society, and the crisis cannot be solved with slogans. This budget is expected to introduce an aggressive national housing strategy that accelerates construction, encourages modular and rapid build designs, and aligns federal, provincial, and municipal incentives. The goal is not just to build faster, but to build smarter, ensuring that new homes are energy efficient, community-focused, and affordable for working families. Expect a permanent housing framework designed to prevent future supply shortages. Builders will receive incentives to innovate, while young buyers may see expanded down payment support and tax relief. Carney's message is clear. Every Canadian deserves the dignity of a home. Carney knows that Canada cannot depend on raw exports forever. The next wave of prosperity must come from innovation, from ideas, technology, and human potential. This budget will likely include bold investments in clean energy, artificial intelligence, biotech, and advanced manufacturing. The goal is to create industries that are not only competitive today, but sustainable for decades. Startups and small businesses will receive easier access to credit and R&D grants, empowering entrepreneurs to scale their ideas globally. Carney's government wants to make Made in Canada a mark of excellence again. By supporting innovators, green tech, and digital infrastructure, this budget aims to transform Canada from a supplier of resources to a creator of breakthroughs. As Carney often says, we have the potential. Now, it's time to export brilliance, not just barrels. Carney believes in borrowing for the future, not for the present. The new infrastructure plan will focus on projects that pay dividends for generations. Fast rail networks, green ports, smart highways, and digital connectivity across every province. Imagine high-speed trains linking major cities, autonomous freight routes powered by renewable energy, and broadband that finally connects northern communities. This is the kind of infrastructure that doesn't just support growth, it creates it. By prioritizing infrastructure built to last 50 years instead of 5, Carney wants to shift Canada's mindset from short-term spending to long-term building. This is the physical backbone of his economic vision: durable, future-proof, and proudly Canadian. For years, defense spending has been a difficult conversation in Canada, but Carney is changing that narrative. He argues that sovereignty requires strength, and security is no longer optional. It's the foundation of freedom. Expect major commitments to meet and even exceed NATO's 2% target. Investments may include Arctic defense modernization, cybersecurity expansion, and homegrown defense manufacturing. Carney also wants to ensure that Canada is ready for new forms of conflict, from cyber attacks to disinformation campaigns. This isn't about militarization, it's about modernization. A country that can defend itself commands respect on the world stage. Carney's goal is simple: a Canada that stands strong, safe, and sovereign. Carney's budget philosophy is rooted in efficiency. Every dollar must deliver measurable results. Expect government digital transformation, department-wide audits, and performance-based spending. He isn't cutting for austerity's sake. He's optimizing for impact. By reducing bureaucratic waste and automating redundant systems, the government can redirect funds toward innovation, infrastructure, and people. Carney calls this approach smart discipline. It's not about shrinking government. It's about making it work like a high-performing institution. Efficiency, he believes, is a moral obligation to taxpayers. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It's an economic reality. Carney, a longtime advocate for sustainable finance, views environmental policy as an investment strategy. This budget is expected to fund clean energy grids, electric vehicle infrastructure, recycling innovation, and carbon-neutral construction. It will also support industries that make Canada a global leader in the green economy, from battery production to renewable hydrogen. The principle is simple. Every green job is a future-proof job. The goal isn't to sacrifice growth for sustainability, it's to fuse them. Canada's natural resources will no longer be extracted carelessly. They'll be refined, reimagined, and responsibly managed for the generations to come. Economic strength means little if families can't thrive. Carney's social policy lens focuses on fairness, mental health, and opportunity. Expect expansions to childcare support, low-income benefits, national school meal programs, and youth employment initiatives. There may also be investments in mental health services and community wellness programs. Carney's philosophy is that compassion and productivity are not opposites. They are partners. Supporting families is not just good policy, it's good economics. A nation that invests in its people invests in its prosperity. Carney's long-term mission is to make Canada more self-reliant and globally competitive. This means strengthening domestic manufacturing, diversifying export markets, and reducing reliance on volatile foreign supply chains. Expect incentives for companies to build Canadian, producing what the nation consumes and exporting value-added goods to the world. Canada's economic sovereignty is about more than independence. It's about resilience in a turbulent global economy. By aligning trade, innovation, and industrial policy, this budget aims to make Canada not just a participant in the global economy, but a pacesetter in it. This is not just another fiscal plan. It's a national blueprint for renewal. If Carney's vision succeeds, 2025 could be remembered as the year Canada reclaimed its confidence, the year discipline met compassion and ambition met accountability. Because this moment is bigger than politics. It's about purpose. It's about redefining how a nation builds and who it builds for. And as always, you'll find the full story, the analysis, and the insight right here on the Macrosphere, where policy meets perspective and where Canada's future is always in focus. Now, we want to hear from you. If you were shaping Canada's future, what would you prioritize first? Affordability, innovation, or sustainability? Tell us your vision in the comments below.